A handcuff clicks shut in the dark, and the officer smirks as cameras roll. What he doesn't know is that the man he just arrested has led missions the public will never hear about. And before this night is over, that smirk will disappear. It started just after 9:40 p.m. on a humid Friday in Coronado, California. The streets were busy with weekend traffic, beachgoers heading home, headlights stretching in long white lines along the coast. A black SUV moved steadily through the intersection near Orange Avenue, perfectly within the speed limit. The driver kept both hands relaxed on the wheel, posture straight, eyes scanning calmly the way years of training had taught him to do. Inside the vehicle sat Chief Petty Officer Marcus Hale, United States Navy SEAL, 15 years of service, multiple deployments, a chest of commendations that stayed locked away in a wooden box at home. Tonight he was just a man heading back after checking on his mother. Red and blue lights suddenly flashed behind him. Marcus checked his speed. 35 and a 35. He signaled and pulled over without hesitation. He had been trained to stay calm in chaos. A traffic stop was nothing compared to what he had seen overseas. But he also understood something else. Sometimes the most dangerous situations were the quiet ones at home. 2 patrol cars pulled in behind him. That was the first signal this wasn't routine. Marcus lowered his window halfway and placed both hands on the steering wheel where they were clearly visible. An officer approached slowly on the driver's side. Tall, broad shoulders, confident stride. His nameplate read, Officer Trent Wallace. License and registration, Wallace said, voice flat. Yes, sir. Marcus moved slowly, narrating as he reached for his wallet. My ID's in my right pocket. Registration in the glove compartment. Wallace didn't respond. He simply watched. Marcus handed over his driver's license and military ID together. Wallace glanced at the license first, then his eyes moved to the second card. Navy? Wallace asked. Yes, sir. Doing what? I'm stationed at Naval Amphibious Base Coronado. Wallace looked up slowly. That's not what I asked. Marcus held his tone steady. Right. The second officer, standing near the rear of the vehicle, let out a short laugh. Wallace studied Marcus's face like he was searching for a crack. Step out of the vehicle. May I ask why, officer? You can ask all the questions you want later. Step out. Marcus complied. The night air felt heavy, ocean wind carrying salt through the streetlights. Wallace walked around him in a slow circle. You were swerving. I wasn't. Wallace stopped. You calling me a liar? No, sir. The second officer moved closer. Hands behind your back. Marcus blinked once. Am I being detained? You are now. The cuffs clicked around his wrists before another word was spoken. Metal on skin, tight. Passing drivers slowed down, some raising phones. Marcus kept his head level. Officer, I haven't been informed of a charge. Wallace leaned closer. You're being detained for suspicion of DUI. I haven't had anything to drink. We'll determine that. Marcus felt the search begin almost immediately. His vehicle doors opened. The interior was examined roughly, compartments emptied. Ash! He remained silent. He had learned long ago that ego escalates conflict. But something about Wallace's tone wasn't routine policing. It felt personal. Wallace returned. What's a SEAL doing driving alone this late? Going home from where? Family visit? Wallace tilted his head. You people think the badge protects you. Marcus said nothing. The words hung in the air. You people. The second officer whispered something to Wallace. They both glanced at the military ID again. Wallace suddenly pulled it from his pocket. This looks real, he muttered. It is, Marcus replied calmly. Wallace stepped closer. Or maybe it's stolen. The accusation was deliberate. Marcus met his eyes. It's registered to me. Wallace's jaw tightened. Turn him around. Put him in the car. Marcus felt the back seat door open. He was guided inside, cuffs still tight. The door slammed shut. Inside the patrol car, the world felt smaller, confined. He stared through the front windshield. He had been in armored vehicles in active combat zones. It sat in helicopters under fire. Dispatch. Running military ID verification. Static answered. Seconds stretched. Then the tone shifted. Unit 32? Stand by. Wallace frowned. Why? Stand by for supervisory confirmation. The second officer looked uneasy. Marcus noticed the change. Wallace pressed again. Dispatch. Reply came sharper this time. Unit 32, confirm full name of detainee. Wallace read it off. There was a longer pause now. Then the radio crackled louder. Unit 32, remain on scene. Do not transport. Wallace's posture stiffened. Why? Await further instruction. The second officer approached the patrol car window and glanced at Marcus, uncertainty creeping into his expression. Wallace's phone rang. He stepped away to answer it. His tone shifted almost immediately. Sir, I silence as he listened. Sir. Another pause. I understand. When he hung up, the smirk was gone. The second officer spoke quietly. What is it? Wallace hesitated. That was internal affairs. The words landed heavy. They said, release him. The second officer blinked. For what reason? Wallace's jaw tightened again, but not with confidence this time. They didn't say, yo. They just said, release him immediately. The patrol car door opened. Marcus stepped out slowly as the cuffs were removed. The metal left faint red marks on his wrists. He rubbed them lightly. Wallace avoided eye contact. You're free to go. Marcus looked at him calmly. What was the charge? Wallace didn't answer. Marcus continued. You detained me publicly, searched my vehicle, accused me of stealing my own identification. Silence. Wallace shifted his weight. You fit a description? What description? No response. Headlights appeared at the far end of the street. Not local patrol. A dark sedan with federal plates. It pulled up quietly behind the patrol cars. Two men stepped out in plain clothes, calm, controlled, serious. They walked directly toward Marcus. Chief Hale, one of them said. Yes. You all right? Yes. The man nodded once, then turned toward Wallace. I'm Agent Donovan, Naval Criminal Investigative Service. Wallace swallowed. We were conducting a lawful stop. Donovan didn't argue. He simply asked, on what grounds? Wallace repeated the swerving claim. Donovan's eyes moved to the patrol car. Dashcam confirms that. Wallace hesitated. We believe Dashcam confirms that. Silence. Donovan looked back at Marcus. Your ID triggered a federal flag when processed during detainment. That automatically notifies command. Wallace's confidence drained further. Marcus spoke calmly. I informed you of my status. Wallace finally met his eyes. You didn't say you were under protected assignment. Marcus replied evenly. You didn't ask? The words echoed. Donovan folded his hands behind his back. Chief Hale is currently attached to a joint operations task group under federal authority. The second officer stepped back instinctively. Wallace tried to recover. He never mentioned that. Donovan's voice remained level. Shouldn't have to. A local supervisor arrived moments later. Confusion written across his face. What's happening here? Donovan answered. Tay. What's happening is that one of your officers detained a Navy SEAL under questionable cause. That action has already been reported up the chain. The supervisor looked at Wallace. Is that accurate? Wallace said nothing. Donovan continued. Will be a formal review. Body cam footage will be requested. The word review felt heavier than any accusation. Marcus remained still, breathing steady. He wasn't angry. He was focused. The supervisor cleared his throat. Chief Hale, do you intend to file a complaint? Marcus considered the question carefully. 15 years of service had taught him something important. Silence sometimes protects the wrong people. Yes, he said. Wallace's shoulders stiffened. Donovan nodded once. Understood. Over the next 48 hours, footage would circulate through the department. Audio transcripts would be reviewed. The phrase, you people, would not go unnoticed. The dash cam would show no swerving. Body cam would show immediate escalation. Wallace would be placed on administrative leave. An internal audit would uncover prior complaints, patterns, ignored warnings. Within 3 weeks, the department would announce his termination pending investigation. But none of that was visible yet. Right now, under the streetlights, it was just quiet. Marcus stepped toward his SUV. Before opening the door, he turned back to Wallace. I served this country. Marcus said calmly. That includes protecting your right to wear that badge. Wallace said nothing. Marcus continued. The badge doesn't protect misconduct. Then he got into his vehicle. The engine started softly. As he drove away, the ocean breeze carried through the open window. No triumph, no celebration, just steady resolve. Weeks later, Wallace's career would officially end, not because of one stop, because someone he underestimated chose not to stay silent. That unexpected authority he never saw coming didn't shout. It simply followed procedure. If you've made it this far, you already understand something important. Authority means responsibility. Tell me in the comments, should officers face automatic review when detaining active duty military? And if you believe accountability strengthens both law enforcement and the armed forces, share this story. This is Beyond the Gavel, where power is tested, truth doesn't stay quiet,